Hey guys, so thank you again so much for tagging along for another video of our neighborhood walking tour throughout the city of Chicago. Now we are in the heart of Wicker Park today, and in 2012, this neighborhood actually got named the 4th hipster neighborhood in the entire United States. And it has really exploded, this neighborhood. Now the neighborhood dynamic has changed so much. In the 1800s, 1870s, this neighborhood was actually named after the actual park, which is named Wicker Park. Now this neighborhood has thrived over the years, changing so many different times. My favorite part was the 90s and the 2000s, where there were a lot of artists that moved into this neighborhood, just because of the proximity down to the Loop and access to all the nightlife and the fun that this neighborhood has to offer. It's kind of changed over the last handful of years, where a lot of people really love this neighborhood, and because of that, the neighborhood has gotten really expensive because a lot of people from West Loop are actually coming into this neighborhood and making it a little bit more expensive because this was a little bit cheaper than West Loop. And all the artists that we saw are still sometimes in the neighborhood, but also moving and changing different neighborhoods to Pilsen, as well as Logan Square, Avondale. I'm Ciochon. I'm a local real estate broker. I've been selling in this neighborhood for, over 15 years. Absolutely love it. A lot of our clients flock to this neighborhood for so many different reasons. Just the nightlife, the shopping, the entertainment, everything is right here. Now this neighborhood, I like to consider, has 3 main boundaries of the neighborhood. Are gonna be Western on the west side, Division on the south side, the highway on the east side, and then up to the 606, which is the Bloomingdale Trail, which we've talked about in Logan Square. The neighborhood, again, has 3 major business districts. One is gonna be Division Street. Division Street has just so many great restaurants and bars. You also have Milwaukee Avenue, which just has so many different bars and restaurants as well. And you also have North Avenue, which again is just littered with a ton of stuff, as well as Damen. This neighborhood has a ton of transportation and is super accessible. So the one part about it, you have the Blue Line, which connects at Division, North Avenue, Damen, and you also have the Western stop at Armitage as well. Now, Rodeo is being such a good puppy right now, looking out for all the squirrels, but she's gonna be joining us on our walk. You saw her walk through South Loop and Logan Square. She had a collar on and pulled the entire time. So we upgraded her to her harness, which she hates, but I think she's gonna be a lot happier. So come on, let's go explore the neighborhood. It's gonna be so fun. The best part about Wicker Park, just walking around the perimeter of it before we get into the side streets, Wicker Park is such a pretty park, and it has so many different things for all of the people that you could ever want inside of a park. So for kids, you also have a playground, and for dogs, you actually have a dog park on the southeast side of the actual park. You also have basketball courts, you have a fountain, you have a community center, and then also in the winter, you do have the ice skating rink, which is actually really kind of fun. So definitely check it out. It's a really nice park. So immediately across the street from Wicker Park and Big Star is this really gorgeous mural. There's always different murals that are here, but it is a speakeasy. So you'll see there's a little door at the end. It's actually called Violet Hour. It's actually one of the best cocktail bars in the city of Chicago. It's like one of my go-to staples. So pull on the door and go on in. All right, so off of Hoyne and Pierce and Lemoyne, all of these neighborhoods are all these like little streets. They have all of the mansions. Back in the day, this actually used to be called Beer Baron Row, which was for like the big brew money used to build their mansions here. So kind of fascinating. These streets are absolutely stunning. Single family homes that are on extra wide lots compared to a lot of the standard Chicago 25 by 125. And just the beautiful homes are so ornate with all like the details with the homes. So You'll love it. Architecture dream. So one of the things that is really unique to this neighborhood are these cute little worker cottages that are like this. They're gonna be littered throughout the entire area. You do see a lot of them also up in Bucktown. Because these lots used to be a little bit smaller, it allowed close-knit communities. So just really adorable. So one of my favorite housing styles in the city of Chicago and what we're super well known for are timber lofts. Now in Wicker Park, there are several buildings that you can purchase in that sell them as condos, and you can buy these amazing lofts with really tall ceilings and all the character that you want, including timber, fireplaces, as well as exposed brick. So one prime example is the Acme. Right across the street is Clock Tower, and then 2210 Wabansia, all right here on the north side of Wicker Park. So let's keep walking. So guys, on the north side of Wicker Park is the 606 access. So the 606 is the differentiator between Wicker Park and Bucktown. And so this is really great. There's lots of entrances over here. It starts over on Ashland, which is the east side of Wicker Park, and then it goes 2.7 miles west into Humboldt Park in Logan Square. So it's a really beautiful park that was an elevated train track that got converted. So it's really spurred this neighborhood. All right, let's keep walking. So the one thing about Chicago is you're always trying to find something that's not just drinking and going to a bar or a restaurant. Royal Palms is really a fun experience. It's a shuffleboard community. They also do have a rooftop deck on the top. So really good experience. So the best part about Wicker Park is the shopping. And so Damen is where all like the little boutiques are gonna be. So even big brands, they have small little satellite retail storefronts here, which are really special. So in the city of Chicago, there are a couple really small boutique shopping districts outside of like the Mag Mile and State Street. Damen is one of those where you're gonna get a ton of different like smaller boutique shopping experiences. So like Aesop, Blue Mercury, Lululemon has a satellite here, Arctics, all of them. So really fun like little destination. Hey guys, so welcome to the Six Corners, which is Damen, Milwaukee, and North Avenue. Now we're not gonna walk down North Avenue, we're gonna go down Milwaukee, but I did wanna point out a couple of things. First off, right behind me is an Art Deco building, which is absolutely stunning. It's called the Roby. It was built in 1929 as office space and now is a really beautiful part of Marriott's collection. Now, the cool thing about it is they have a really gorgeous restaurant on the second floor, and they also have a rooftop with the original pillar, which looks out all over the city. Literally, if you're looking for one of the best views in the neighborhood, that is it, because it's the tallest point in the neighborhood. Now, if you go further down North Avenue, a little bit east, is one of my other favorite speakeasy destinations. which is behind the record shop. So you literally enter behind a lot of records, but they do have live music in there, also phenomenal cocktails. So let's keep walking down. We're gonna go down Milwaukee Avenue just to explore Milwaukee. But yeah, definitely check out some of the restaurants on this strip of North Avenue, and definitely hit up the Roby because it's gonna be the best views in the city that you're gonna get. All right, let's go. So some of my fondest memories when I was growing up here, and when I say grow up here, I was like 18 going to college, was Pint, which actually is no longer, but it's the Lone Owl. Space is still really cute, similar vibes, but I just remember going in there at 18. My friend was the bartender there, so she would sneak me in. We used to have so many fun nights, but that's like what reminds me of Wicker Park the most, is just your childhood shenanigans, right? So on the north side of Milwaukee, we kind of came off on the side streets. It's a little bit different than being in the historic district, which is southwest of Damen and North Avenue. It's gonna be smaller streets. They're all typically one-way streets. They're also gonna be just like an eclectic version of different stuff. So like you have a really modern single family home, you have a vintage you have 2000s or aughts construction, multi-individual condo units. You have a craftsman, a worker's cottage. It's such a different vibe being on the north side. And you're gonna see it when we cross over Ashland into that east side. It's gonna be very, very, very different than even being over here. So let's keep walking. So now we're on the east side of Ashland Avenue, which it's such a different vibe even from like the Wicker Park area. It's gonna be not as charming as that historic district, but this area does have its own feel. The thing that I like about this neighborhood, or this like pocket, is it's about the architecture. There's a lot of old school buildings. There's a lot of new ones that have been built up as well. Just the engineering feat that Chicago has. Now, Chicago has been innovative in so many different aspects. You'll notice that a lot of the houses are actually below the street level, which is really common around this part of Wicker Park because we have the river right here. And because Chicago is built in kind of like a swampland area, it's so different that the area actually wouldn't drain water really well. And so because of that, the city actually in the 19th century decided to raise the streets so that it would eliminate some of the sewage issues and then put in sewer pipes underneath the streets. So essentially they raised the city. They did this downtown as well as up here in the kind of like the neighborhoods, depending on where things were. So it's really kind of a fascinating thing. And again, part of Chicago history. So let's keep walking. We're gonna go over by Pulaski Park. Yay, you did so good. Guys, so on the corner of Milwaukee and Division, Starsiak Clothing is actually the family-owned business that owns the Britneys that I bought Rodeo through. So my breeder, this is their old family building, which is right here in the heart of Wicker Park, which is so fun. But now we're gonna go attack some pigeons really quickly in this square. Let's go. Get him! Here's a chase them. Oh my gosh, that was her fun. So guys, now we're making our way down Division Street. You're gonna find Division is just such a quaint, cute commercial hub. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of shopping, really good boutique shopping, especially close over to, there's a couple of shops that I love that are over by Division, but also just such good food and good restaurants. So I'll kind of point out some of the best ones. Then we're gonna loop back down Damen, maybe through some of the side streets back to the Wicker Park where we started our trip. Let's keep going. Hey guys, all right, so thank you again so much for walking through Wicker Park with us. Definitely feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as leave a comment. Let us know if you live in Wicker Park, if you're moving to the area, what your favorite bar is. Everyone looks at the comments as well, so we can get this little community going. So if you guys are looking to move to the city of Chicago, neighborhood hunt, if Wicker Park is your neighborhood that you think you jive with, feel free to reach out to us. I will leave my cell phone as well right here, also in the description. Wicker Park is just such a fun neighborhood. Things that I forgot to mention throughout the walk was do Division Fest, which is really fun. A couple of my favorite restaurants are Perch Machine Engineering, which is on Division, Rainbow Cone, which is on Division as well. They're awesome. Me and my partner actually live off Division, closer to like Old Town, but we do walk down Division Street and come over here for ice cream and dinner. Definitely also check out the West Side and Milwaukee corridors where we didn't kind of get to walk through, just because again, we don't have time to walk through the entire neighborhood street by street, but hopefully this gives you guys a feel for what all Wicker Park has to entail. As always, we want to help you live your Chicago lifestyle, so come on and be a part of our community and let's explore Wicker Park. All right, good job, baby. Dale. Hey, Dork, play with me. All right, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Dale. Looking at birds. Always looking for birds and squirrels.